Good morning. Today on the channel, we're going to be covering a couple articles from Bounding into Comics. We wanted to get to them on the podcast Monday night, but we didn't have a chance to because, well, if you haven't caught it yet, watch the replay, episode 192. The Four Horsemen plus one. We inducted a fifth horseman, Chris Fisk. We had a great time last night. I'll link the video in the description to this one so you can check that out. It was a blast. But today, we're going to be talking about representation. I know. But we got a couple articles from Bounding into Comics. I thought they were worth bringing up and wanted to kind of put this out for you guys. We got a lot of reviews coming down the pipeline, some more funny comedic stuff too. But before all that, let's get down to business and talk about representation for the Alphabet Mafia. Monkeys, roll the footage.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, some gay guy's gonna have sex with another gay guy.
We're gonna pull you out of that school.
I hope my dad's not watching ABC.
Okay, here we are. First, we'll start out with this article, and it really focuses on Josh Gad. Josh Gad is mildly talented, slightly amusing, but really annoying. That's the best way I can describe him. I really enjoyed him in Pixels. I thought he was hilarious. But anything else that I've seen him in, I really don't think he's that funny. There was a show he was in where he played the president's son, and it got axed after a couple episodes. I found it mildly amusing, but this article really just showcases how weird and detached this guy is and how quick to throw up the virtue signal. So we'll talk about that. We'll cover this article here. Josh Gad on roll is gay LeFou in live action Beauty and the Beast. We didn't go far enough. All right, those of you who might be wondering why they didn't go farther, Beauty and the Beast is an adaptation of a story that was, repackaged, repurposed for children in the form of a cartoon made by Disney back in the 90s. And, there was a TV show with Ron Perlman, Kirstie Alley. The CW did a reboot of this. But this was the live action adaptation of the Disney version. So the fact that Josh Gad is upset that they didn't go far enough with the gay representation or what he wanted to see play out with the two characters is absolutely ridiculous. And this article came out a couple days ago from Spencer Bercouli. I just want to cover this and the other one because they're both kind of it really speaks to the problem in Hollywood when it comes to legitimate representation, is that this whole concept is muddled by people who don't want representation but just want to act as if they're placating a community. They can't help themselves but mold characters who weren't gay and turn them gay. It's a very weird flex by Hollywood that's been more prevalent in the last, handful of years or so. But let's get into this article from Spencer Bercouli. According to Disney star Josh Gad, despite the media's lauding of his role as LeFou in the live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast as Disney's first gay character, the character didn't go far enough to warrant accolades. Like, how far did you want them to go? What did you want out of this to warrant the accolades? In 2017, Disney made headlines with the announcement that Gad's version of LeFou would be the company's first openly gay character, earning a bevy of praise for this decision from such outlets as The Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, and NBC News. And that unto itself, the fact that just saying that you have a gay character in your property it's hilarious. That is some kind of accomplishment. It doesn't even make sense. When the film premiered, fans discovered that the character's sexuality was only briefly hinted at in a blink and you'll miss it moment, seen at the film's conclusion wherein LeFou is seen switching dance partners and ending up paired with another man. A moment hardly worth writing home about. Reflecting back on this media fervor during a recent interview with The Independent, because The Independent is a bastion of journalistic integrity, Gad revealed he felt much of this hype was unwarranted. as the film didn't go far enough to warrant accolades. We didn't go far enough to say, look how brave we are, said the Frozen actor. My regret in what happened is that it became Disney's first explicitly gay moment, and it was never intended to be that. He continued, it was never intended to be a moment that we should laud ourselves for, because frankly, I don't think we did justice to what a real gay character in a Disney film should be. So this is the thing. Who are you to define that? And to me, this just speaks to the ego of Josh Gad, thinking he knows better than you or anybody else what this gay character should be, what the interpretation is. And I honestly don't know Josh Gad's sexual preferences. I have no idea. But to me, it's just stupid. It's not supposed to focus on that. It's not. He's not even. I don't know if he's a main character. I have no idea. But even if he is, like, if that's the only thing that defines your character, because that's the only thing they've mentioned about this character is that, oh, he's gay. Oh, what is he like? What are his interests? You know, what is his life like? How does he relate to the story? No, it doesn't matter. He's gay. Just accept it, you bigot. Like, why? Why should I sit back and be like, oh yeah, this is fine? It's not the problem that the character's gay. It's the problem that this is all you're focusing on with this character. That was not LeFou, Gad then asserted. If we're going to pat ourselves on the back, then damn it, we should have gone further with that. Everybody deserves an opportunity to see themselves on screen, and I don't think we've done enough. And I certainly haven't done enough to do that. I mean, all I can say to Gad is just
yada, yada, yada.
It's utterly ridiculous. Like, why would you think on Earth that you need to go further, quote unquote, to develop a gay character in a Disney kids movie? That, like I said,
sheer fucking hubris.
To say that, well, everybody needs to see themselves on screen. This is the problem that we run into with these people, is that they always say, oh, I need to feel represented. I need to see myself. When I was growing up, and I've said this a lot, and it sounds it's ad nauseum. I hate to beat the same drum over and over again, but at what point is enough enough? Why do we feel the innate need to be so egotistical, so narcissistic, that in order for us to enjoy a story, we have to see ourselves on screen? It literally makes no sense, and it really handcuffs the writer and the creator's ability to tell the story they want to tell. If they have to worry about checking boxes all the way through, and that would be it, that's your first goal and focus, is ticking all these boxes, then why are we even doing what we're doing? Why are we creating anything? This is designed by committee bullshit. It's like, okay, wait, do we have enough black representation? No? All right, we need more of that. What about Asians? Okay, even though they're white adjacent, all right. Do we have any Middle Eastern? No? All right, we need some of that. What about Latinos? Do we have Latinos in there? Oh, excuse me, Latinx. Don't say that word. That's stupid. Latinx is a word that white leftists made up to, in other words, categorize a group that they deem as below them and needs special treatment, when the Latino people are very capable of building their own success and their own properties, their own entertainment, you know. And I'm not saying that we don't need Latinos in mainstream entertainment. Absolutely. I mean, every group, this is the thing that these people fail to realize. When you have organic representation that makes sense in terms of story, plot, the region that the story is told in is a big thing about this. To go back to the point about handcuffing creatives, so I've been offhandedly working on a story, a sci-fi kind of story, and I am in the process of working on characters. I have basically my world building set up, where I want the story to go, how I want it to span. Now, when I'm designing my characters, I'm not, and it's funny too, because I am designing different races of characters, which they're aliens. Most of them are going to be alien. I wonder if my work, when I eventually finish it, will be, criticized if I don't check enough boxes, or it's not something I'm worried about in writing my story, because I have read enough, I'm well read enough to understand the basic, your hero's journey. How to develop characters and to endear your reader, your audience, to those characters. Just saying a character's gay, if that's their only redeeming quality, if that's it, then will it resonate with part of your audience? Absolutely. It absolutely will. But I believe the more discerning members of that group will see through this for what it is, which is it's cheap. It cheapens the experience of those people, those folks, that community. It does. When you say this is all that character is gay. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no meat and potatoes. It's all surface level. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense in terms of proper representation and giving the opportunity for people to see themselves on screen. And like I said, I don't have to look at a character on screen and be like, oh my God, they're not white. I can't identify with them. No. One of my favorite comic book movies before the big Marvel boom, the first decade of the 2000s, with the onset of the MCU, was Blade. I freaking loved Blade. When I saw that movie, I was immediately like, oh my God. And I wasn't a Blade comic reader at this point. I knew there was a comic, but I just never read it. And I was just, wow, this movie's all. And I was a huge Wesley Snipes fan going in. And again, Wesley Snipes, an actor I've seen in many movies, and I really like him. And it's like, I can, identify with some of his characters. I mean, the villains he played are fun, cool villains. I mean, ultra violent, like look at Demolition Man. He's just such a cool character, and he's a great actor, and a great actor can draw you into their performance no matter what they look like, is my point to you. So let's go back to the articles. I've rambled long enough here. The article goes on to say, it's likely Gad will get a chance to explore the live-action LeFou sexuality swap in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast prequel series, set to begin production for Disney Plus later this spring.
Why?
The series, titled Beauty and the Beast, will see Gad and Luke Evans reprise their roles as LeFou and Gaston from the 2017 live-action film. They will be joined by Brianna Middleton, who played Tilly, LeFou's stepsister. And to be honest, I didn't even know they were doing a prequel series. I've never watched the 2017 live-action remake. I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was when this came out, the cartoon. But I've seen it. I've seen all the animated Disney movies either when I was a kid or in my teenage years, or even as an adult, because number one, I'm a parent. Number two, I had younger sisters who were 4 and 6 years younger than me. So I have watched all of these. I've seen Beauty and the Beast. I enjoyed the cartoon as a kid. It was fun. It was a cool. The animation was always good in those. I always enjoyed those. The Disney animated movies, before Disney turned into the evil empire they are today. But let's jump over to the second article here. Hollywood studios double down on LGB agenda. Go woke, go broke, be damned. This from Jacob Smith. Yesterday, bounding into comics, I look at, all the letters here. We have LGBTQ, and they've added like a plus, a 2, an ampersand, pound sign, the hashtag.
2 hours later.
I don't know. I don't. How many letters do you need? How many fucking letters do you honestly need? So we got. Let's just break this down. We have lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer. I am not an expert on this shit. I'm not. I do know gay people. I know bisexuals. I know lesbians. Boy, do I know lesbians.
Lesbos! The lesbian!
It has to be in everything. And now it's funny because I've worked in all kinds of environments, all kinds of industries. Professional wrestling, radio, auto sales, finance, the marine industry, boats and shit. I can count on one hand, actually on less than one hand, how many gay people I've worked with. Now, I've come in contact and had customers that were gay. Great fucking people. Absolutely. I know lesbians. They're great people. They really are. And most of them just want to live. They want to be normal folks, which they are. They want to be treated like everybody else. They don't want to be handled with kid gloves. They want to be treated with respect, which is no problem. Why would you not? And you might say, but ETAP, you make fun of lesbians in your Batwoman reviews and all this stuff. I don't make fun of lesbians. I make fun of television lesbians that are written poorly just for the sake of representation and checking boxes, which is all the CW does, which is all most modern entertainment does. So let's dive into this article here. This by Jacob Smith. The statement of woke go broke has been prevalent on the internet for several years, But when it comes to the corporate push for representation, it may be time to rethink that sentiment. Yeah, why The Last Man? That got canceled after one fucking season. As a matter of fact, it was canceled before the season even ended. If you've watched any television program consistently over the last 5 years, you've probably noticed there are more LGBT characters on television than ever before. So much more that LGBT representation set a record in 2021 for the most lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender characters ever. Which is funny considering the actual percentage of the population that community represents is not indicative of the level that you see in TV and movies now. 12% of all television characters on broadcast television, cable, and streaming were LGBT. While some of the naive television viewers may believe this is just a coincidence or that television is just reflecting what the modern world is becoming, the push for more LGBT representation in television and movies is very much by design. Daniela Pineda as Faye Valentine of Cowboy Bebop, and I will say this, while she did come off rather abrasive and condescending to the fan base regarding their desire for the show to be a bit more accurate to the manga, Daniela Pineda is an absolutely gorgeous woman. She's beautiful. I believe her character was bisexual in the television, well, not television, but Netflix streaming series, Cowboy Bebop. I've never seen it. I've never seen the live-action Cowboy Bebop. I've never watched any of the anime. I've never read the manga. I don't know anything about this property, so I can't speak to that. All I know is from what I've heard from people who are more in the know on it than I am, that this was not true in the anime or the manga. Fans of comic books and video games have likely noticed an uptick in LGBT characters, whether they've asked for them or not, and have begged the question, who is exactly behind the push to create more of these alphabet characters? Look no farther than GLAAD, because of course they would be. The Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation organization makes it clear their goal is to shape the narrative and provoke dialogue that leads to cultural change. And this is kind of the caveat at this point. Are you trying to groom people into converting? Because that's fucking weird. Or are you nurturing the environment in which when kids reach the age of discovery that they're more comfortable in their own skin as gay or lesbian or what have you, which if that was the actual case, if that was the motivation to make these young adults more comfortable in their own skin, then you know what, I'm all for that. Now I don't placate the whole, well, I was born this and I'm going to be this now and you have to accept it. I don't. That's the thing. I don't have to accept playing pretend, and it's not. You can't change science, and the whole gender as a social construct is absolutely ridiculous because you can put on whatever clothes you want, you can take whatever drugs you want. You cannot change your chromosomes. You cannot. It's impossible. It'll never happen, and people just have to live with that. And I do, my heart goes out to people that suffer from gender dysphoria. It truly does. But at the same time, don't impose your shit on me. And I'm not getting political here, but from a libertarian perspective, I always say, I don't care what you do, just don't fucking bother me with it. And don't beat the drum and walk around me in circles saying, well, you have to use my I don't have to use your fucking pronouns. I'll call you by your name, but I don't give a fuck what your pronouns are. And that's kind of the thing to where if somebody ever says anything to me on Twitter, the first thing I do is I'm looking at your bio. If you got pronouns or BLM or ACAB or, resist or any of that nonsense, I'm not fucking listening to you anymore. You're done. You're out. Your opinion is garbage. You're garbage at that point. Your opinion is shit to me. That's just where I stand. I don't take people like that seriously because at that point, they're more about the message than they are what they're actually saying. It's the overall arching propaganda narrative that you're trying to impose on me, whereas I just want to come over here, do my thing, be entertained, but I can't do that because modern entertainment has turned into shit because of box-checking forced diversity like this. And everybody knows that there's no fucking problem with diversity. The problem lies within the delivery, the crafting of that. That's the problem. GLAAD protects all that has been accomplished and creates a world where everyone can live the life they love. The organization adds.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit! You said so! It's all bullshit! All of it!
Again, it makes me happy I don't read those comics anymore. I don't read, honestly, the only mainstream comics I read now are older. The older stuff, the good stuff. I was buying some newer Marvel stuff up to, last year? Occasionally. If I saw a title that I'm like, it's worth checking out, because I was buying 4-packs at Walmart for like, I don't know, $6-7. I'd get 4 books. But honestly, they would package like one good one on the front, and then it would be 3 just garbage tier books. So to that effect, over the last 5 years, GLAAD has been working with major film and television studios to lobby, there's the keyword, to lobby showrunners and filmmakers to rapidly increase the number of Alphabet characters on screen. GLAAD has spent the last number of years tracking the amount of Alphabet characters in television, and that number has seen an increase from 8.8% to 12% in the last 3 years. Oh yeah, and there's Batwoman. Now, see, this is the thing. Batwoman now is a lesbian. Batwoman, when the show started, was a lesbian with Kate Kane. Kate Kane wasn't a lesbian until 2006. But when Ruby Rose departed the show after the first season, they made it a point to replace her with not only a character who was not white, they wanted a black character. They specifically advertised, I believe, for a black character when they were hiring the new actress, when they were casting the new actress. This is just fucking hilarious. They were like, we want a black Alphabet person, basically. And here comes Javicia Leslie, who I don't know what her, sexual orientation is away from the show. I know she plays a lesbian character on the show. I know the show Batwoman, because I have, 84 videos on it, is completely agenda-driven, narrative-driven. Every woman is a lesbian. Every white character on the show that's a male is either evil, stupid, or some combination of both. The black male characters on the show are made ineffectual. Look at Marcus. Batwoman has whooped his ass every time they fought. So this is just what they want to do, is push this narrative, and people just buy it, and then they get mad at you when you call it out. In their last report entitled Where We Are on TV, GLAAD reported that 92 of the 772 series regular characters on scripted broadcast television were Alphabet, an increase of 2.8% from just the previous year. This is just on broadcast television. On primetime cable networks, GLAAD counted 87 series regular Alphabet characters and 51 Alphabet recurring characters, totaling 138 Alphabet characters on cable alone. When you add streaming services such as Netflix and Hulu to the mix,
You got a 50-50 chance of winning.
you have 245 Alphabet series regular characters
So you got a 25% at best.
and 113 Alphabet recurring characters, bringing the total to 358 Alphabet regular recurring characters
You got a 33 1/3 chance of winning.
on the 8 major streaming platforms.
I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning.
And for you Lord of the Rings fans, yes, that does include Amazon Prime Video.
And you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning.
After season 1 of Supergirl, I gave up because I was like, this show is hot garbage. For some readers, these numbers may look staggering, but it is important to note that GLAAD is far from satisfied and is looking for more Alphabet representation characters moving forward. In 2018, GLAAD President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis called for major studios to include Alphabet characters in 20% of their releases by 2021 and 50% of their films by 2024. This was in response to what the organization felt was a decline in Alphabet characters in the movies the previous year. WME, one of the largest Hollywood talent agencies in the world, sided with Ellis and committed to helping GLAAD reach that 20% marker. Oh yeah, and here's Loki with his fucking variant, Sylvie. And they were involved in some weird incestuous fucking thing. And now because Loki can turn into a woman, Loki can turn into different people, he's bisexual, which makes no fucking sense. He's just a shapeshifter. That doesn't make you bisexual. That is such a fucking straw man. As we witness growth in Alphabet representation on TV in many areas, we continue to call on Hollywood and creators to invest in storytelling that uplifts underrepresented voices and issues from our community, which ultimately has potential to advance cultural acceptance and understanding of Alphabet people, Ellis said in her study. Networks and platforms must continue to prioritize telling Alphabet stories that have been long overlooked, with a specific focus on the trans community. Alphabet people of color, people living with HIV,
What?
And alphabet people with disabilities. Jesus Christ. Who's gonna watch this? Yeah, fucking great. You can make all these fucking shows, but who's gonna watch them? Who's gonna watch all this? So you're gonna spend millions and millions and millions of dollars watching shit. They're not gonna make money. These shows and properties are not gonna make money. This has been proven. If these agencies and these fucking production companies want to throw money down the toilet, why don't you invest it in people who can actually make fucking good entertainment that people will buy and watch? There's a million independent creators that can make shows, movies that are way better than anything the mainstream is putting out. Because if they happen to include people from the gay community, they're done right. They're done proper. They're done justice. They're written well with proper character motivations. I just don't understand it. It's utterly ridiculous. Hollywood is an industry controlled top to bottom by progressives and left-wing activists. That's the major problem right there. The basic concept of capitalism doesn't apply to these people. An industry that already has billions of dollars at its disposal doesn't mind losing a few for the sake of strengthening its agenda. If Hollywood can continue to draw billions from superheroes and nostalgia, they will continue to have a pot to pull from whether you reject it or not. So the question to be asked is, what will television look like in 5 years when the numbers are 20%, or in 10 years when they hit 50? The alphabet community is 50% of the population. Then procreation and reproduction is going to drop too. The perpetuation of the species is very important, imperative to survival, I should say. So I like to say, I don't know. Like, I understand artificial insemination, but I mean, this is just weird. It's an odd flex. It's very fucking weird, and it's very disingenuous to the people who actually just want to be entertained without agenda and propaganda being shoved down their throats. And I don't need my 6-year-old asking me questions about this. You know, you don't need to push this on children yet. You should teach children to be understanding. You don't need things forced on children. And that goes to all the alphabet propaganda, the CRT nonsense. It's all garbage, and it's disingenuous because you're indoctrinating at that point. You're not educating, you're indoctrinating. And that is the caveat. That is the problem. Now it's your turn to let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Do all the YouTube things. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, if I've earned it. Subscribe, ding the bell for notifications so you know when we go live or upload another video like this. Share the video far and wide. Help us reach more eyes, more of a new audience. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, leave your comment. I'm Temple Cooing of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next one.
This is Lesbos!
I could do this all day.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.